live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Okay.
So a part of this, especially that Cam Newton to the Redskins talk happened because Case Keenum just signed on. Wait, where did Case Keenum sign on that? Was it Indianapolis? No,
because that's where Phillip Rivers is.
it's somewhere up north.
Wait,
Cleveland, the backup in Cleveland, or not?
So
Maybe
Baker
not the backup.
Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield, yeah.
Okay.
So he just signed on in Cleveland. I knew it was somewhere in the Midwest.
Okay.
And there have been a bunch of big-time free agent moves. I don't know why I led with Case Keenum.
I don't either, because he would not have been the person I would have talked about.
Right.
Like,
No,
what?
the number one domino to fall, even though we don't think he was the most talented. I don't think he was the most talented free agent. The number one domino to fall was certainly Tom Brady. Tom Brady is no longer a New England Patriot.
Oh, see, that wasn't even who I was thinking so clearly.
Who?
Look, when you said that the biggest domino to fall, I wouldn't even. Lord, you're right. Go ahead, talk about Tom Brady.
Well, so I'm only speaking about free agent moves, but after the first couple of free agent moves we'll talk about
the
this
trade,
crazy trade that happened.
Jesus.
And just how we feel about it. But
yeah,
Tom Brady was the number one free agent to fall.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, if you guys remember a few weeks ago on Who's Really Right, I brought them up. I didn't choose them though. I think I said the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't.
Los Angeles Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas, yeah. Las Vegas. Yeah. I'm like, wait, they're not Oakland.
Y'all need to stay put.
Yeah. Stop fooling around. No.
Right.
But
yeah. I thought that's where he would go, but after watching all those clips of how in love with Marcus Mariota John Gruden was, it makes sense that he went and got him instead of Tom Brady. And maybe Tom Brady just didn't want to go to Vegas.
Tom Brady, that wasn't for his family. That wasn't a good fit for him and Chucky. That wasn't gonna be no good fit. I don't care what anybody says.
I think if he could fit with Belichick for 20 years, he could fit with anybody.
No, Chucky too fickle. Belichick know what he wants.
He's had to endure a bunch of different personalities, including Bill O'Brien, who we'll get into later.
Anyway, yeah.
But no, so Tom Brady is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Y'all don't understand how hurt I am.
As close as it got. Oh, I know you hurt. 2 times a year for the next 2 years at least.
Oh gosh.
God help the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes, help the Falcons, please.
especially with their plan of going by addition, by subtraction.
Right.
Getting rid of Austin Hooper, getting rid of Devontae Freeman,
getting rid of Desmond Trufant.
Desmond Trufant.
Yes. Come on, fool. Yes. They got rid of Desmond. Yes.
I didn't know that. Lord.
They did. Maybe
they just are resigned to building through the draft.
They're dumping the whole team, but it's not fair.
Well, so
it's not fair.
I believe that a lot of their moves were cap casualties. Because having to give Julio that money after having given Devontae Freeman and Matt Ryan that money over the last few years, I believe it's made them cash strapped. You got to pay the defense, and some tough decisions had to be made. I do understand getting rid of Freeman.
Oh, that wasn't an issue.
I believe that
wasn't an issue for me. Hooper.
I believe getting rid of Hooper was maybe not the greatest of moves.
And then they got what's his name? Huntley. What's the boy's name? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you the Hurst. Hayden Hurst.
Okay.
Is that a true it was that? Anyway.
Well, I think it's one of those things where you kind of have to consider money and talent and how it equates. Because all of this, if you could just go out and choose the best players and not be concerned with the cap, some teams would just really just be great teams.
Yeah,
and it
they
wouldn't
would
be
be
any
top
way
heavy.
to.
Right.
So navigating this gives it a little bit of a competitive, flair where no one team just based off of proximity, location. Because I believe all the teams in Florida would have all of the best. They'd have all the best free agents every year. One, because the weather's nice, and two,
Right, I was
no
gonna
state
say
taxes.
California, and between California and Florida, nobody would go anywhere.
Oh no, I doubt if people would go to California though.
Really?
The state taxes in California.
Oh well. Yeah.
You mean I get to keep most of my money in Florida, but you take
True,
majority of it in California?
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
So, that's I guess the only thing I like about the cap.
That it makes them have to be a little fair about how this gets dispersed. Yeah.
Because it's not just about what happens on the field. It's about what happens in the room when these decisions have to be made, these tough decisions, whether to keep Austin Hooper, whether to keep Devontae Freeman. What are some other free agent moves that you've seen that have either made you go, huh? Or
I don't know.
Really
most of mine was trades. Like, for me, a lot of my stuff was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, wait, you got rid of who? Right. Let's see, free agency. Well, I can't remember. Gerald McCoy.
I was about to say, let's talk Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy to the Cowboys.
That's a huge one to the Cowboys.
3-year deal.
Yeah.
And
3 year, $18.3 million.
I almost forgot that he was in North Carolina last year.
Mm-hmm.
He had kind of a quiet season. He played well.
Yes, he did. That's what I was going to say. He was a steady force for them, but he wasn't like just dominant.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think with DeMarcus Lawrence and some of those pieces they have on defense over there with the Cowboys, as much as I hate to admit it, I believe if we can get Dak Prescott straight, we could.
Cowboys could leave Dak. Dak, if you watch, listen, hear me, son. Leave now. Dip. They don't deserve you.
How many? I know that there is a rule that a team could sign a player who has been extended a franchise tag tender, but they would have to give up a certain amount of first round picks. Have you heard of that rule?
That if they sign somebody who's been franchised, that they have to give up picks?
Right. Like let's say
so
the
like
Patriots
they put the
wanted to sign
franchise
Dak
tag
Prescott.
on Dak, right? And the Patriots want him. They got to give up.
They'd have to give up a few first round picks over the next.
Really? I didn't hear that. I don't know that I knew that.
I'd have to look that up, and I'm gonna research that for y'all. But I would think that may be worth it.
Yeah. If I'm the Patriots, for sure.
Now, the issue is having to sign Dak to a long-term deal when we know that they don't deal that way. They're not setting the market with any position.
Right. I'm even good with okay, so what was Russell's deal?
Russell's deal was,
I know it comes out to like 35 mil a year.
Yeah.
But was it, how many years was it? Was it?
I think his was 5.
5. I wanted to say it was a 4 or 5. 5. Okay. Even if they could give him something close to that. At this point, you know what? If I were Dak, see, this is how petty I'd be.
Uh-huh.
The Patriots could offer me exactly what Dallas has been offering me since September.
And you taking it?
And I'm taking it because y'all show me what you think about me. And I got to go. That's literally like what I would do. But yeah, no, I don't know. But Okay, so Gerald McCoy, that's an interesting move for them. I mean, their defense already, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he signed a 4-year, $87.6 million deal in July of 2015. Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. Okay.
Yeah. He'll be making $19 million this
So
year.
it was
This is
4 years.
the final year of his deal. Yeah, it was a 4-year deal.
That's what I thought. It was a 4-year deal. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I feel like Cowboys, that was a good move on their part. I mean, they just shored up their defense. If Dak doesn't leave, they're gonna be tough to beat. They're gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah. Wait, I stand corrected. His extension was for another 4 years for $140 million.
I knew it was supposed to be more money than that. Yeah, because it had to be 35. It had to come out $35 million.
Yeah, it was
about
$35 million
year.
annually.
Yeah, so I'm like, but yeah, okay. Yeah. But either way, it was. But I remember the 4-year part. That's why I was like, no, it's 4 years. Okay, so yeah, but they shore up their team with that move. I think their defense anyway.
Yeah,
the Cowboys. Yeah, you shore up your defense with that move. Who else was
Amari Cooper?
Who?
Amari Cooper.
Yeah. Well, but they re-signed him. You said free agent. You said free agents. Yeah. So I'm thinking of who else was free agent. Who else was a free agent?
He had the opportunity to go somewhere else because the reason the price was driven up for the Cowboys was because the Redskins were going after him.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know.
I think the only other free agent move.
I'm trying to think who else it was that really was a big one. Because Phillip Rivers got released, correct?
No, his contract was up.
Okay.
And they just decided they didn't.
They weren't going to re-implement. Right.
Okay. So. I guess that was the other one. Him going to the Colts.
Yeah, that's a big one. Even stuff like, I know it's a trade. Okay, I keep wanting to talk about trades. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into the trades because
I'm like, even Jason Witten. I'm surprised about Jason Witten
going to Oakland.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I just thought you just weren't gonna be a Cowboy till you died, for real.
Well, I think that he believes that he still has it. And
clearly
the tape doesn't show that.
Yeah. Hey, but he Jason Witten. I guess that's all it took.
Yeah.
And of course, we're talking about who again? The Raiders, right?
The Raiders.
We already know Chucky ain't the best making these types of decisions.
Who's the GM over there?
I don't know, but Chucky got something to do with it. So he's just not the best at that. I'm sorry.
Maybe you bring him in to be a locker room guy? I'm trying to shoot Chucky someday.
Oh gosh. Okay, well, hopefully that works out for you, sir. Hilarious.
I forgot one of my boys calls him Mr. Catch and Fall Down. He said he does a really good job of catching and falling down. No run after catch.
I ain't getting hit. That's
no yards after catch.
Jason, I ain't getting hit with. Y'all can do it. Yeah, no, I don't. That was surprising to me. Obviously, the big one when we're talking about trades is DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
So, there's a lot of backs. Oh, have you seen the latest since I sent you that from Michael Irvin? Oh, so he's come out with a statement. So let's tell them the whole story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So DeAndre Hopkins was traded to the Arizona Cardinals for second round pick in this upcoming draft in the 4th round pick in next year's draft. And
which, for y'all who don't really follow sports, is nothing.
Yeah, that.
Like, that's nothing.
He got traded for a washing machine and a bag of peanuts.
Not even a whole bag of nickels. You just give them like some pennies. Like, it is. It's for the talent. This man
was number 2
I promise you.
Since 2015. He's been the number 2 receiver in yards. I don't know if it's catches, yards, touchdowns, and it might have been catches. I think it was all the major categories.
I mean, anybody who knows who we talking about, you know, the man's hands
like catcher's mitts.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him in all of the time he's been playing. I could probably count on my hands the times that I've seen him drop a ball.
Yeah.
Like, he's that good. So
he's
really
made some of the most spectacular catches.
Oh my
that you've ever
gosh.
seen. Like people can talk about that Odell Beckham Jr. one-hand catch behind his head.
Right.
We've seen DeAndre Hopkins make a catch behind his hamstring, like, and trap the ball and continue and keep it. Yeah. And so I knew that when this story came out for what he had been traded for, I knew that it had to be something personal between he and Coach Bill O'Brien.
Because it felt like it was a dig.
Yeah.
It didn't. The fact that you would trade for such a small amount for him, it made it feel like a dig.
Right.
Like,
he wasn't worth.
You don't mean nothing to us. We just want you gone. Like that kind of thing. The same kind of way I felt with Jadeveon.
Right. Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You just kind of, I want him gone.
Yeah,
so whatever you give,
whatever you can get for him.
Yeah.
And some of the early reports about why he was traded was that they felt he was on the downside of his career.
That's laughable.
Now,
That's laughable.
For those of you who are frequent watchers of the Field to the Real podcast, you can go back a couple of months and see that I was really caping for Bill O'Brien. Actually, it wasn't a couple of months. A couple of months during the playoffs that I was caping for Bill O'Brien. And Stephanie was totally destroying him. And I don't know if that was a who's really right. But as always, Stephanie was really right. Because the reports that came out once DeAndre Hopkins got to make a statement through Michael Irvin were downright disgusting.
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. Just go ahead. So I sent that to you.
Yes.
Because I was just in shock. Like, is this real? Like,
is this really what?
I mean, you know, because you got to look at it and say it's hearsay because it wasn't from DeAndre Hopkins himself. It was via someone else. So you got to be like, is this real? Like, oh, my Lord. So Michael Irvin went on Get Up this morning on ESPN and shared what he had conversation with DeAndre Hopkins about in regards to this trade and just his relationship there at Houston. And he came out, Michael Irvin, not DeAndre Hopkins, and alleged that in that conversation, I get boiling hot every time I think about it, that Bill O'Brien called DeAndre Hopkins into a meeting and prefaced that meeting by saying, you know, the only other time I've had to have a meeting like this was with Aaron Hernandez. Okay, so we know that we have people who listen who are not sports people.
Right.
So it is necessary to explain the significance of saying that the last time he had a meeting like this, in quote, was with Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez played for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
He was a tight end for the Patriots. Very good tight end. Had a troubled past. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
And found it difficult to let go of the past behaviors. Let's just say past behaviors, and ended up in legal trouble. Ended up going to prison. In fact, for murder.
He allegedly killed a few
talk about a
people.
professional football player. Yes. Yeah. Who went to prison for murder. Unfortunately, he has since taken his life while he was in prison. But the implication of what Bill O'Brien was saying was, in my opinion, if I'm going to interpret what he said, I'm interpreting it to mean that you believe that DeAndre Hopkins is either a delinquent, a sociopath, or because these are the things that you would associate with the way that things went down with Aaron Hernandez.
Psychopath.
Psychopath.
I was adding that to the list of.
Like sociopath, psychopath. You're you're just all around. Like you're just you're a, what is the word I want to use? I don't know what the word is I'm trying to think of right now, but just in other words, you're just kind of a bad seed.
Right.
Essentially. And so I think from the way that Michael explained it, DeAndre was taken aback by that to be the way we start this. Like, what? Like, because for me, I listened to Michael say it, and the first thing I did was pause the tape so I could pause the video so that I could go find out what is it that DeAndre Hopkins did. That I'm like, what illegal? I'm confused. I'm like, what has he done? And I don't see anything. So I'm like, okay, well, let me keep listening. And he goes on to say that he explained to him that his issue with him was about the multiple mothers of his children.
And how they were always
the fact
around.
That he has multiple children by multiple women and they're always around.
Right.
That sounds like his personal business.
Yeah. I
mean, unless they fighting on your field or something. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, what is it really that we're talking about?
Right.
And to make the comparison behind somebody not being able to figure out how to use a condom and somebody killing somebody. It blew me away. I don't know if
we can make that comparison.
Killing somebody not using a condom. I was like, wait, huh? He might make poor choices in the women that he's even having these babies with, but that is still not the same as killing somebody.
Right.
Or being at the time a gang member or whatever, what's going on.
Yeah.
And so when I finally finished it, I immediately sent it to you.
Right.
Because we had the conversation about this whole trade, yesterday. Because I was like, what is going on? And if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm like, are you trying to throw me under the bus? Like, what is this? You get rid of pretty much my best receiver.
Right.
You're not pretty much. You get rid of my best
receiver.
And you bring in, listen, it ain't even just that you got rid of him. You brought in a mediocre running back in his, huh?
Yeah.
So all of that so we had that whole conversation just about the being confused about it from the beginning, but this just added to it.
Right.
When I saw that today, I'm like, now I really want Deshaun out. Wait.
Right. I believe all of the black people on their team should request a trade.
I'm out.
I would refuse.
If you're gonna leave him as my coach, I got to go. Yeah.
Because like you said, unless the children and
the
their
mamas.
mothers
Yeah.
were causing problems at the facility,
Yeah.
what does that matter to you, sir?
Right.
And as a man who has children by multiple women, I'm totally offended by it. Now, I will agree. We can't equate the inability to wear a condom to murder.
No.
The comparison to Aaron Hernandez was just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I don't know if he meant, and I'm just trying to understand here, because in order to say that, and being that DeAndre Hopkins has never been in any trouble, you are saying that to create some sort of narrative.
You have just lumped him based on the only thing I can deduce, based on the fact that they're brown and they're black.
Right.
That's the only thing what else is the commonality?
So what I need to hear is a statement from Bill O'Brien explaining what he meant.
So, DeAndre's come out with a statement since this.
I haven't.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Yes. Was that was what popped up?
No.
Oh, yes.
No, but I saw it right before we came on.
Okay.
That said that there was that he didn't say it the way that Michael made it sound or something. Okay. In other words, he was kind of defending it, saying, there's no rift between Bill O'Brien and myself.
Right.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe it. I believe it was you better go fix this because you making him look bad type of thing. And somebody just, because what I do, and let Lord forgive me before I say this, Jesus. Just saying, unless Michael's back on crack. I just don't believe that he
would get on TV and
just gotten on TV making that's just a bold, that would have just been a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
And where would he have gotten the information from?
Right.
To even, you come out your butt with it, what is that? So I feel like he's been coerced into making a statement that tries to kind of put the fire out so that Bill O'Brien does not have to defend himself.
Right.
Sir, that's not good enough for me.
And I'm sure
Bill O'Brien to come out and say, this gonna have to be the same kind of situation we got with what's his name, Mason Rudolph and your boy. They just outright calling each other liars.
Yeah, right,
so
right.
I needed to be like that.
Right, nah, he lying.
So he lied. No, he called me in no, he lied.
Yeah.
I need somebody to do it just like that. I need you to come out, Bill O'Brien said, I never said that to you.
Yeah.
And then we can be like, DeAndre, is he telling the truth? And then we just have to believe who we believe at that point. But you know how I feel about Bill O'Brien.
Right. I do.
I've been saying this from the beginning. And they're out there again, Jarrett. Sorry, y'all. They blowing by my house. Why?
Really? I can't hear it.
It's 3:30. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway. But yeah.
They will get that hourly pay.
I've never been a fan of Bill O'Brien. Y'all forgive us.
I'm sorry.
Because I've always had this sense. I think when I didn't watch the whole season, but when they did, what's the show? When they did, what's the show that they do?
Ballers?
Where they follow the team.
Oh, Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. When they did Hard Knocks with the Texans.
Yeah.
I knew then. Mm-hmm. Something about this individual. His spirit wasn't right. And it was just on TV. And I could tell something is not kosher with this dude. And so I just, so this whole thing has just got me like, oh, see, it's not cool. Like what you said is what I would absolutely, every brown or black person that is on that team needs to be like, we gonna dip because we can't stay here with you because this is how you feel about all of us essentially. Deshaun, Everybody, bye.
They say that they were pursuing a top free agent at cornerback, and that cornerback decided that he would in fact not sign with the Houston Texans based off of this information. So
good for him. Good for him. No,
I believe that coincides with the timing of DeAndre Hopkins' statement.
Yeah.
Because he probably got a call from the league office like, hey, we need to tone this down.
Quell this down right now.
Create a competitive disadvantage for the Texans.
Oh, well.
You know, sending your best receiver somewhere for a second round pick and a fourth the next year is probably you create your own competitive advantage.
Yeah.
But
And honestly, listen, let's just think about this. How many of these dudes in professional sports period have multiple babies by multiple women? Tom
Brady.
So I'm just, and I didn't say black. I just said how many of these.
Right.
I'm not I didn't make that a statement based on race. I'm just saying, period.
Well, I made it a statement because it kind of feels racial.
Well,
and not from you. I'm talking about hearing
yes.
people in the media talk about it.
Yeah.
It feels like a racial thing, which is why I needed to say Tom Brady because, regardless of how it occurred, he is.
He got multiple baby mamas.
Got multiple women.
That's right.
I'm sure this has never come up as an issue.
And nobody would ever know.
Right.
It would never be even put out there. Right. No, nobody would ever know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all this, but the one thing I hate that he came out and kind of back down off of what was said.
Yeah.
Only because remember what I sent you when I sent it to you. I was like, at least these guys are starting to be like, you know what? I'm gonna just tell my truth.
Right.
Because Cam came out and was like, no, I did not want to leave.
I didn't ask for a trade. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't speak words.
Yep.
No. I did this.
Right. So I was happy. Like, yes, they're feeling like they're getting some. Right. You know what I mean? The ability to stand up for themselves in this thing a little bit. But
you know who I attribute this to?
Who?
My goat. My goat.
Yeah, because he don't have no problem telling nobody nothing.
Right.
You are right about that. He don't care. But you know what? He's being a basketball player is different, and being LeBron James as a basketball player, his platform, his reach, his power, his all of that is so different. And you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So not even Zion could do what he does.
Oh, absolutely not. So
I'm just saying. Yeah. It's interesting. But yeah, this has been crazy. This whole little how this is going down has been crazy.
Put the cameras on me. 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 Put the cameras on me.